MVP polls. We told you 1 through 9 and 10. JR, Julius Randle.
The Knicks' favorite almost MVP. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle, I mean, to the casual fan, that might be a surprise, right? That one shocked me, man. I mean, I think he's playing well, but top 10 MVP voting? I don't know. I think that just speaks to how powerful New York City is as a area, as a city, as a media presence, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Julius has been balling. Like, as good as Brunson has been, and he's been amazing. Might be an all-star. We'll get into that very shortly. Randle has been equally as good, if not better. I don't know if I've seen such a weird relationship with the fan base, but you said New York Knicks favorite. No, that's not the case. He is not a fan favorite. I don't care how good he's been. I've never seen someone go from hated by their fan base to turned into a cult hero in 2020, then hated again to the point where he's thumbing down the crowd in the Garden, only to rise to stardom once more. But that's what Julius Randle has done, and Knicks fans still haven't turned completely on him because he's given us 27 a night for these last 10 games. He's averaging like 10 rebounds. He's a bully double. Just write it down because he's going to get that. But still, maybe it's the turnovers. Maybe it's the poor decision making, facing doubles. We all want a more efficient Julius Randle. And Knicks fans, if he was a more efficient version of himself, then he's a top 10 guy. But he's not that guy. He's not a superstar. He's just a very good player. So we got to take it for what he is. He's a bull in the china shop. He can make his threes once every other game. And he's a borderline all-star, but nothing more.
Yeah, I hear that. But I got to give Julius Randle his flowers at the same time. I mean, minutes down from the 2020 season, down from 37 to 35. Increases scoring by a little bit less than a point. It's technically increases rebound by 0.6. Overall field goal percentage is better by 1%. However, 3-point percentage is down by 3 percentages. And he's giving you 4 assists a game, whereas in that season, he was giving you 6 assists a game. You hit everything on the head. I'm not disagreeing with anything that you say, but his efficiency isn't even horrible. I think it's just how he started the season off. He started the season pretty poorly, and the expectations that were set for him in 21 that he just didn't hit. Nonetheless, Julius Randle has been hooping, but I don't think he necessarily deserves to be in this conversation.
Yeah, there's other guys. SGA comes to mind. You could probably think of 3-4 others. But, you know, in this MVP race, it's about narratives, and the winning narrative that was the Knicks before they marched into Brooklyn yesterday was a positive one you could get behind. But something that caught my eye during that Knicks-Nets rivalry week, we're going to touch on it a little bit more later in the podcast, was contrary to what Stephen A. would have you believe, that fake Knicks fan that be spitting that blasphemy all over us. The Knicks are in a good spot, yo. There is no rebuild necessary. We got 3 guys averaging 20 a night. The starting point to a winning roster is there. For the first time in a long time, man, I feel like as a Knicks fan, we have a foundation you can dream on. Jalen Brunson's the real deal. He's been better, if not as good as you had hoped he could be. Julius Randle, no one thought he would bounce back to this level, but hey, he's here again. RJ Barrett, he's averaging 20 on less attempts. Yet there's still a cloud over this franchise. I'm not sure I understand why, because from my point of view, this is the best outlook. This is the most optimistic I've felt since we were in the honeymoon of that Melo trade. Am I wrong here? Am I missing something?
You got it right. I think what's weird about it is, barring RJ Barrett, I guess, but Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, great college players, but I mean, that profile kind of was lowered a little bit when they got into the league and kind of had to prove a lot of people wrong before they got to where they are today with the New York Knicks. I think there's this feeling around the Knicks that it's like, is it too good to be true? There's such a high standard. It's like, these guys, okay, we know that they're playing well, but can we go and get a star and expect this from them night in and night out? And naturally, right, we've said it before, this team is 1 star away from being true championship contenders. You're obviously not going to get 20 points a night from each one of them. If you get a 25, 30 point per game score, that's natural. But if they can keep up this type of efficiency and production in the minutes that they do eventually end up getting, this New York Knicks team has more than a solid foundation to make runs for championships. There's no doubt about it.
That's facts, and I like how you put that, because that is the stepping point to getting that star and actually competing, like you mentioned, right? RJ's not going to average 20 with another guy there. He probably won't pass at all because he puts his head down right now because he doesn't feel like he touches it enough. But once that guy is here, once that top 10 guy is wearing blue and orange in the Mecca, having Julius Randle slot into a role where he's not the guy, he doesn't have to bring up the ball, he doesn't have to face double teams to make those tough decisions. Having Jalen Brunson get to touch and feel when he needs to go and not be needed to be a fourth quarter version of Kyrie, which he can't always do.
Contrary to popular Knicks belief, right?
But yeah, you're slotting everyone back in their appropriate role, and you're taking a big dog to lead the charge. That's what they need, man. I think they're closer than ever to getting it, closer than they have been since Melo walked through that door. I don't know who that guy is. That I'm open to taking guesses to. But like I said, man, I just think they're in a good spot.
Oh, I agree. And I don't want to get too crazy here, but you add a Damian Lillard or a Kyrie Irving, this is a championship-bound team. I feel very confident behind that statement.